That wasn't fair. You didn't tell me, Keith, that was me following two gentlemen who have obviously spent time in front of a crowd. And just at ease, parents, this is not going to be a recruitment speech, so you don't have to worry about that. I never saw myself joining the military. I definitely never saw myself in front of a very large crowd of people while in the military. I jump out of helicopters for a living, and this is one of the more nerve-wracking things I've ever done before in my life. So congrats on putting me through that. But on that note, I'm absolutely honored to be here speaking in front of you. I come from a military background. My role models were all members of the armed forces. But until 20, my idea of serving was waiting tables at a country restaurant. I've come a long way since then. The details of which would take way longer than my allotted time up here, so we won't get too much into that. Suffice it to say, my life has since been dedicated to serving, risking my life for perfect strangers who have found themselves at what I hope is the worst situation in their life, and saving them. So I know service. Service. Servicing. To serve. You must learn to serve before you can learn to lead. But serving continues even as a leader. At least it does if you're going to be a good leader. Being a leader means you get to choose how you serve. Will you serve just the people you know? Will you serve just when it's comfortable to serve? Or will you serve purely and beautifully for the sake of service, using what you've learned these years in the Scouts, lending aid to any and all in your path? There's honor in true service, selfless service, to God, family, country, and community. You don't have to be in the military for that. You just need motivation to make things better. That's it. Those of you being recognized today are way ahead of the curve. You chose your path. I can only ask that you continue looking for ways to serve. Congratulations on this awesome, awesome accomplishment. What amazes me the most is that at the age you began this journey, I couldn't even fathom embarking on a goal that was going to take years to accomplish. I didn't find that kind of iron will and determination until about the 20-year mark. But here's where things get tougher. You've outed yourselves as men of action and men who get things done. Now people are always going to expect great things from you. That's a lot of pressure. Can you handle it? Yes. Jamie, nod your head yes. I'm watching you. You're still my little cousin, and I will be watching you. You're all up to the task. I have no doubt about that. However, the journey is not over now that you've reached this milestone. Continue on and find your next goal, your next passion, your next service, and attack it with great vigor. More often than not, the Coast Guard responds to the unprepared. Mr. Overton, Keith, are any of your scouts unprepared? No, they're not. I didn't think so. So then you're all set. I've been on hundreds of SAR cases throughout my career, and every one of them has roughly that element. People are not prepared. They go out without signaling devices. They go out thinking that nothing is going to happen to them. What you've been given here are great tools. My first duty night in New Orleans, my second tour. I was not used to waking up every night to an alarm. I, since that point, got very, very used to it. But we got launched middle of the night, probably about 2 a.m. I was very excited. You know, it's still early enough in my career where, you know, that alarm goes off and there's nothing but excitement. Dying to get on that plane and do what God put me on this earth to do. So we start flying down the rivers of Mississippi, out in New Orleans, and lo and behold, we see somebody moving a flashlight back and forth. And apparently, there's a group of 4 people, young, a couple years older than you guys, so again, way ahead of the curve, and they had run out of gas and were just barely lodged on the banks of the Mississippi. So, got pumped, and I was ready to go down. One thing the unit before that didn't prepare me for was rapid running water. I'm used to big open ocean where you see everything coming. They put me down in the river, and it starts carrying me off. So I spent the next 2 minutes sprinting as hard as I could to get to that boat where those people needed me. By the time I reached there, I wanted to throw up. Just about that point. And still, my twisted version of comedy at that point, I had to talk to those people. So who's going first? Once the three men and the lady started babbling incoherently, I said, just kidding. Ladies first, you're better than them. So I was like, here's what we're going to do. You're popping over this raft, this boat, and we're going to get you in a helicopter. We'll swim into the middle of the water. They're going to send out a basket. We're going to send you on your way. And it is amazing how quick that water takes you. Start swimming off into the middle of the water, and the river's taking us down, and my flight mech nailed it. Got the basket right to us. I put her in, and as I was celebrating mildly in my head, I started thinking, wait, no, I got three more, and they're bigger. Way bigger. So I sprint again for the next 2 minutes. Actually, I think that time is probably getting a little slower that time. I don't know how I didn't throw up on this adventure, but I'm going to spoil that ending. I didn't make it without throwing up. Got the next guy, who's about the same, a little more tired, then the next, and the last one. Get into the middle of the river, and that's when the plane starts having problems. Flight mechanic cannot get me the device I need. And I'm towing this 240-pound male, wondering how am I going to keep him up out here? How? And luckily, right at the point where I started to doubt a little bit, I got the device, we sent him on up, and we land, and we deliver them to their families. Amazing. But that was short-lived. A few minutes later, we got another call. Same night. Then we start heading out. And my pilots asked me, are you ready for this? I said, I signed up for it, let's go. 4 more people we're looking for. And we start flying around again. And we find the entire bayou has been lit on fire. And we're like, no, that can't be anything we need to go to. It was. We find a boat out there. And we go down. And they put me in what I thought was going to be water, which is just about 6 to 8 inches of water, and the rest is thigh-deep mud. You can't walk in that. And I'm like, yep, this is where my night's going. Okay. So I combat crawl to the boat. The only amplifying information we had on these people was one of them was diabetic. So I had no other opening line beyond that. Is any one of you diabetic? Oh, I am. Who are the people we're looking for? So then we start dragging them through the mud since the helicopter can't get too close to send them up on their way. When eventually we got the story of why the fire was lit, because they didn't have any signaling devices. Jamie, would you go on the bayou with no signaling devices? I didn't think so. Jamie, would you ever think to light your gas tank on fire and throw it? I didn't think so. It is amazing how many people forget the simple things. Dragged a couple more of those guys, and the last one was a 340-pound male who decided to go on a fishing trip in the bayou. Couldn't drag him. I dragged the device over there, got him put in, and we brought them to their families. Absolutely worth the adventure. But it just goes to show that the things you're learning here and preparing for will not leave you stranded out there in real life. That was one of the more benign cases. It doesn't always turn out that well. And that's something we need to compartmentalize and move on. I've seen life, I've seen death, I've had people die in my arms and on my watch, even though I've done everything humanly possible to save them. I've had moments where I couldn't think further ahead than a few seconds into the future because survival is not a guarantee. 30-foot seas make you feel very, very small. But we trained well, and we continue to train hard, just as you're doing right now. And we do that so we can find a way to come home. I've seen pain, but I've also seen joy. I've seen joy on the faces of families reunited. One of the most important things that I've learned in my 11 years as a rescue swimmer is that life is precious and it's fleeting. Find joy in all that you do and strive to make the world a better place. I'll leave you all with this. We've all been given a great opportunity. We've been given an opportunity to be greater than those that have come before us, to learn from their failures, to build upon their successes, and to forge a new path, knowing that it's never been done before. But the average person squanders that opportunity. You are not the average people. You are not oppressed by mediocrity. You are not weak-willed and sedentary. You are the exceptional. So, be exceptional. Thank you very much.